So there's a quote by Greg Plitt, which you might know him. He was kind of the pioneer of self-improvement, right? He unfortunately passed away, but I'd say he kind of revolutionized the self-improvement thing, right? And what he said was, champions aren't born, they're made. And I kind of internalized that because when we go through our day-to-day things with this expectation that we need to be great, we hold ourselves to a standard of already being great, which, isn't bad if you can achieve that, but if you're the average person trying to be great, that isn't really going to be beneficial. Because you're not going to act in accordance of being a champion, you're not going to get the results you think you can get consistently, and you're going to get really disappointed in yourself. But what I want you to imagine is that, let's say, 20 years from now, right? If you feel like you're not doing enough, if you feel like you're doing actually below the bare minimum, let's say you go 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? If you do that for 20 years, do you think you would have made a substantial amount of progress? Like, obviously, yes. And that's what I think people don't get, is that it's a long game. It's a long-term game, right? Some people can achieve it in 2 years, some achieve it in 30, right? But if you keep doing it, you're going to achieve it. Yeah, like I don't know how else to explain that, but logically, like I've been alive 17 years. I'm not a 50-year-old guy giving you advice, but there's no logical fallacy in the fact that if you stick to it, if you go hard for 2 months, and then you kind of you lose that steam for a week or two, and then get back on it for a month or two again, and then lose it for a week, you're making a lot of progress, and it's only a week that you're kind of losing out on it. Even if you do 2 months on, 2 months off, it's not gonna you're not gonna go back to the beginning. You're still gonna make progress, and it's the little efforts that build. It's People don't get that. I can't remember who said this, but you know, your life is like a scale, right? And the more good things you do, the more it tips on the right side, and the more bad things you do tip on the other side. But it's the little things. It's not the big things, because not you can't expect to do big things every single day. They come like once a decade, maybe. I don't even know. I haven't done anything great, but it's the little things that stack up on each side, right? How many times do you actually work out? How many times do you jack off? How many times do you scroll social media every single night? Tips the scale. As long as you have the majority of your votes on the right side, you'll be you'll get to where you want to be eventually. Right? You can speed it up by, trying as hard as possible to not do as many bad things as you can. But guys, I don't want you to give up, because I haven't given up. I went a month of sticking to the plan of doing everything right, and then I fell off for a week during my holidays, which was kind of expected, but I'm not going to justify it, right? I fell off during my holidays. And today, right after this, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes. I've already meditated for 10, but I didn't meditate for 20. So I'm actually going to sit down and meditate for 20 minutes. That is going to be my goal for the next week. And yeah, just don't fucking give up. Just don't give up, bro. It's so simple. Don't overcomplicate it. If you don't feel like doing it, and you try and you fail, and you try and you fail, and then you fail again, and you don't try again, that's when you fail. That's when you truly fail. Right? When you don't try again because you've completely given up. When you know, like, okay, I'm not going to try this again. It doesn't matter if you fail now and you try again a month later, then you haven't failed. You haven't failed because you're trying again. It's a long process. It's a long process. Like, I feel like I'm like pretty big right now, but bro, like a year down the line, I'm gonna be like, Jesus Christ, I was tiny as shit, right? And sometimes I don't feel like going to the gym. Sometimes I won't go to the gym for like a week, but then I'll go back to it and I'll hit it hard for like 3 months. The week didn't make a fucking difference. It's the 3 months that count. If you actually look at all your past efforts, right? And you say, okay, I went hard for 2.5 months and I slacked off for 2 weeks. Why the fuck are you upset about that? The ratio is insane. You put in the hard graft for 2.5 months, and just your body kind of got tired of it. You just weren't used to it. You gave out for 2 weeks, and now you're gonna try again, right? So people that don't try again after that really fail. If you stick at it, you keep doing it, you keep trying again, eventually you will make it. Nothing wants to stand in front of a force that just keeps fucking hitting it again and again. Your brain is going to meet resistance, right? It's going to give you resistance, but if you keep pushing at that resistance, it's going to be pushed further and further back, and eventually it's going to be gone. I think. Maybe not, but it'll keep going back, right? Because that's what I did with gym. That's what I did with schoolwork, with studying. This is how it works, guys. So don't give up.